story, but Justin Bieber is never beating the allegations that he does not like his wife. Now, if you didn't see, it was just announced that Hailey Bieber would be on the cover of the summer Vogue issue. Justin has since posted the cover to his Instagram, and the caption is so damn shady. This man wrote, "Yo, this reminds me when Hailey and I got into a huge fight. I told Hales that she would never be on the cover of Vogue." What? Yikes, I know, so mean. For some reason, because I felt disrespected, I thought I gotta get even. I think as we mature, we realize that we're not helping anything by getting even. We're honestly just prolonging what we really want, which is intimacy and connection. So baby, you already know, but forgive me for saying you wouldn't get a Vogue cover because clearly I was sadly mistaken. What type of bullshit is this? What happened to just saying congratulations?
Did she troll her haters or accidentally admit everything?
This is my phone. These are a couple more that I keep on me. I really just use them for surfing anonymously, commenting, stalking, viewing girls' pages.
Hailey Bieber's new Vogue video feels like a response to all the hate she's been getting.
Probably when I was around 12, my dad flew me to go meet with this witch. She made this specifically for me. She told me that it would make a young Canadian pop star fall in love with me.
She brings out her favorite perfume to mock everyone who calls her a Nepo baby.
It's really gorgeous, really does all the work for you without you having to do anything.
Hailey Bieber is finally firing back at wild claims that she's been stalking Selena, obsessed with her every move, and even used witchcraft to snatch up Justin. Yeah, you heard that right, witchcraft. But just as she lands the Vogue cover like a total boss move, Justin swoops in and steals the moment with a moody Instagram post. He straight up admitted he once told Hailey she'd never make it on the cover. Seriously? The timing couldn't be more awkward. But somehow the stars seem to be lining up for Hailey anyway. Because just days later, her beauty brand gets scooped up by e.l.f. in a $1 billion deal. That's right, $1 billion. And of course, you know no Bieber drama is complete without Selena Gomez getting thrown into the mix. Word on the street is that Selena reportedly blocked Hailey's brand from getting into Sephora. Then out of nowhere, she pops back up trying to play the nice girl card, saying she now supports Hailey, the same woman she used to throw shade at for defending her bestie. Make it make sense! The media just keeps spinning that same old Hailey is obsessed with Selena narrative. They love keeping that story on life support. It's like clockwork with the Biebers. Drama never sleeps. All right, video chapters are up, so let's dive into this wild mess. Hailey's big Vogue win, and Justin's jaw-dropping confession. You seriously gotta be on a different level of clueless to take your wife's career-defining moment and turn it into a whole monologue about that time you told her she'd never make it. Like, really? This was her moment, and somehow it ends up flipping public sympathy in her favor. Not long ago, the internet was dragging Hailey through the mud, calling her a stalker, a clout hunter, and even saying she built her identity off Justin's ex. People were calling her everything from obsessed to manipulative. But with just one overly emotional caption, Justin flipped the script and took the whole internet on a detour. He hijacked her spotlight with a, "Hey babe, remember when I told you you'd never land a Vogue cover?" Like, what? He might as well have said, "Congrats, loser, I was wrong." Suddenly, people started turning on him, calling him controlling, cold, even toxic. They're saying Hailey deserves better. And let's be honest, the switch up is wild. Here's what he actually wrote. He posted her Vogue shoot and added, "This reminds me, when Hailey and I got into a huge fight, I told Hales she would never be on the cover of Vogue." Ouch. He said he felt disrespected and wanted to get even. Then came the self-reflection speech. Something about maturing, realizing revenge kills real connection, blah blah. He ended it with, "Baby, you already know. But forgive me for saying you wouldn't get a Vogue cover, because clearly I was way off." So not only did he admit to putting her down in the past, he did it while reposting her success. Confusing? Absolutely. But weirdly enough, it kinda worked in her favor. All right, let's clear some things up, because clearly some folks missed the memo. The fact that Hailey landing the Vogue cover made Justin flash back to a fight where he told her she'd never make it and then decided to spill it all publicly just to paint himself as the villain tells you everything about how this man operates. If that still ain't clicking, let me break it down. I've been covering Justin for over 12 years. And trust me, While he's gone through hell, from shady industry deals to being used and betrayed, Hailey has always been the one pulling him out of the gutter when things got ugly. This loyalty, it's been there since day one. But Justin has this thing he does, maybe he doesn't even notice it, where he slides into this martyr mode. Like, he drops these raw, emotional confessions that seem deep at first, but they always end up circling back to him, even when it's not his moment. It's like he can't help but say, hey, I've been through pain too, don't forget about me. And sure, that's real. He has been through a lot. But when you're constantly pulling focus like that, it ends up making everything revolve around your trauma, even when someone else is supposed to be shining. That's why so many people clock his captions as more damage control than genuine reflection. They sound emotional, but it starts to feel like a soft PR spin dressed up as vulnerability. Justin's go-to move is this whole "I'm the bad guy, please forgive me, I'm working on it" routine. But the delivery? It's messy. His words don't always land right. And let's be honest, grammar's never been his strong point. In his latest confession, he says, "I was sadly mistaken," when he probably meant sorely mistaken. And yeah, that tracks. Still, if you've followed his journey, you know he's been trying. He's opened up about therapy, leaned into faith, and made public statements about learning from his past. He's said sorry a lot, especially for how he's treated people in the past. So while the effort is there, the way he frames it always kind of circles back to his pain, even when the spotlight should be on someone else, like Hailey. It's obvious Justin's trying to lean into some kind of peace, not just accepting others, but learning to accept himself too. But here's the catch. When he puts these deep moments out into the world, they rarely hit how he thinks they will. What he sees as raw honesty, the internet often clocks as emotional spin, or worse, manipulation. Because his past, it's messy and very, very public. From wild behavior in his early 20s to blurred lines in old relationships people haven't forgotten. So now, no matter what he says or how he says it, there's a big part of the internet that filters every move through that old image of him. Reckless, selfish, always putting himself in the center. So even when he's actually trying to grow, it gets twisted. Fans see him as toxic. People accuse him of playing the victim. It's a no-win situation. Say nothing, and he's labeled cold and detached. Say too much, and suddenly he's love-bombing or gaslighting. And let's be real, while criticism is fair, this constant online dragging, it's brutal. That's exactly what exploded with the Vogue post. In Justin's mind, he probably thought he was giving Hailey her flowers. Like, look how far you've come, even though I doubted you. He thought he was showing growth, but what it really sounded like was, hey babe, remember when I crushed your dreams? Lol, my bad. Not exactly the flex he thought it was. Instead of people clapping for his honesty, it totally backfired. The spotlight shifted to Hailey, but not in the way she wanted. People started seeing her as the girl who had to prove her worth, even to her own husband. And that sympathy came from the same internet that was just calling her a stalker weeks ago. Truth is, Justin doesn't need to share everything. Some confessions are better kept private, not blasted to millions on Instagram. But the fact that he does put it all out there shows he's still trying to prove something to us, to himself, to anyone still watching. And that need to be understood, it might be the very thing that keeps him misunderstood. This whole thing is messy because, let's be real, Justin does love Hailey. That's clear. In fact, in that very Vogue feature that reignited the Justin is toxic convo, he sent the writer a personal email with one simple line. I've done a lot of dumb things in my life, but the smartest thing I ever did was marry Hailey. Sounds sweet, right? But here's the problem. Every time Justin shares a tender moment, it's wrapped in some emotional baggage. His love for Hailey always gets paired with stories of fights, regrets, or self-blame. And because of that, people don't hear the love, they hear the drama. Sometimes, just letting Hailey shine without the deep captions or guilty confessions would have spoken louder than any post. Instead, he once again made her win about him. The Vogue moment turned into another episode of Justin's emotional roller coaster, where he tries to be deep but ends up looking like he's working through his issues on Instagram instead. And after catching heat from every direction, what does Justin do? He edits the caption and replaces it with 4 emojis: a shrugging guy, a pointing finger, a heart, and a happy tear face. No words, just vibes. You can't make this stuff up. He really lives in his own little bubble. And honestly, it's wild in there. You'd think someone with this much time in the spotlight would know how the internet works. But nope. He seemed genuinely confused that people didn't take it the way he meant it. The shrug emoji basically screamed, "What did I do wrong?" A source close to the Biebers told Page 6 that the post was his way of saying, "I'm sorry for doubting you. Congratulations, simple. No hidden message. Hailey gets him. She knows how he talks. But the public, not so much." And just when the tide was finally turning in Hailey's favor, guess who decided to re-enter the picture? Yep, Selena Gomez. After all the cold stares, cryptic posts, and behind-the-scenes tension, she's now being looped right back into the chaos, and it's looking real suspicious. The timing? Too perfect? Coincidence? Congrats? PR strategy? Or the soft launch of Selena Gomez's next big rebrand? Let's get into it, because Act 3 is all about Selena's redemption arc. Right as Hailey's Vogue cover was making waves, with her finally opening up about her pregnancy struggles, including scary moments like heavy bleeding, Justin goes and kicks off a TikTok trend without even trying. Now, girls everywhere are asking their boyfriends if they think they'd ever make the cover of Vogue. It's a whole thing. And then, boom. Out of nowhere, Selena drops this on her Instagram story. "You matter. Your voice matters. Your heart matters. You are worth so much more than you know." She adds, "You know who you are, and I'm cheering you on." Yeah, the internet immediately clocked that as a message to Hailey. And why? Because right before that, Selena liked a joint post from Sephora and Rhode announcing that Hailey's brand would be hitting Sephora shelves this fall. Timing? Way too perfect. Especially considering it's been reported by Puck News back in January that Selena was the exact reason that Sephora held off on sealing the deal with Hailey's brand in the first place. A source even confirmed it. Selena was behind the delay. So now fans are spinning this like Selena's being mature, supportive, the bigger person. Tweets started going viral, saying stuff like, "See? Selena was never the problem. She's rooting for Hailey." But wait, weren't these same fans the ones who dragged Hailey for simply liking Selena-related posts and called her a stalker for it? The switch-up is crazy. Some people see Selena's story as a genuine peace offering, but a lot of others, they're calling it damage control, plain and simple, especially now that more eyes are on her online behavior and how she might have played a quiet role while Hailey was getting ripped apart all over the internet. I already broke it down in my deep dive on the Bieber smear campaign, and yep, Vogue even mentioned it too, where it came out that creators were being paid to go after Hailey. So now that the narrative's shifting, Selena showing support just happens to line up with her needing a little cleanup of her own image. Suspicious? You decide. Now that Hailey clapped back at all those stalker claims and threw major shade in her Vogue video about people saying she forced Justin to fall in love with her, the internet started turning their gaze towards Selena. And guess what Selena did? She fired off a very subtle reply on her Instagram story. First, she posted a blurry pic with the caption, "Me trying to see the Fs I don't give." Then followed it up with a pic of her asleep captioned, "Mood." Translation, "I'm unbothered." But like, if you're truly unbothered, why are you working overtime to show us how much you don't care? It wasn't stopping there either. She kept the post coming. Next up, she reposts a throwback clip of her and Ariana Grande from February, captioned, "I'm reminded that women can always be supportive of each other. I love you, Ari." Then she hit us with a video of Taylor Swift giving a motivational speech. And after that, a heart-filled shout-out to Miley Cyrus. Back to back to back. Yeah, it was giving, let me unite the fan bases real quick. Whether you're a Selena stan or not, let's be honest, she knew exactly what she was doing. She turned into a full-blown fan account for a few hours, hyping up Ariana, Taylor, and Miley. Right when the heat was turning on her. It wasn't random, it was strategic and kind of hilarious. Then came the wild twist. Dumois posted that Selena slid into Hailey's DMs after the Vogue chaos and Justin's weird caption. Apparently, Hailey accidentally opened the message, freaked out, and called Kylie Jenner for backup. What? They claimed that the now famous "You know who you are, I'm cheering you on" Instagram story from Selena came after the DM exchange. So now the internet's asking, what's more unbelievable? That Dumois somehow knows every detail down to how Hailey tapped her screen, or that Selena actually sees herself as some kind of behind-the-scenes peacekeeper? Because if this story is real, that's not giving unbothered, that's giving savior complex. Honestly, it's getting a little ridiculous at this point, but what do you think? Anyway, let's get into what really set all this drama off. Hailey's Vogue confession. The shade, the subtext, the facts. In her latest Vogue cover story, Hailey finally breaks her silence on the emotional pressure of fame, being a new mom, and the non-stop obsession with every single thing she does online. And yep, she does lightly touch on the Selena Gomez drama, those non-stop divorce rumors, and how she's slowly becoming the woman people never saw coming. The article highlights how Vogue took her from just Justin Bieber's wife to a powerhouse in her own lane. After Justin canceled the rest of his Justice tour back in 2022, everything shifted. And Vogue straight up says it. Vogue kept the Biebers in the public eye. Justin? He's now playing supporting act in her era. On the never-ending noise around her marriage, Vogue even calls out the internet's obsession with Justin and Selena's old relationship, and confirms that someone's reportedly been paying to keep anti-Hailey hate campaigns alive, just like we exposed in my Bieber smear campaign video. Hailey says that motherhood gave her a whole new kind of strength. There's a calm that comes with it, and she's just done wasting energy on people who got her twisted. You really start to give less of an F about so many things, she says. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. She's over-convincing the trolls. Justin also chimed in with a written statement to Vogue, calling Hailey a force in style, business, fashion, and art. He said she makes being a mom and a wife look easy. And that's exactly why people can't stop watching her. As for Hailey, she makes it crystal clear. Her son, Jack, is her number one. She says motherhood changed everything, especially the way she sees Justin. It's made her more empathetic, more understanding, and more grounded than ever. So while the internet keeps recycling the same old narratives, Hailey's out here evolving and finally speaking her truth. Hailey really opened up in this Vogue interview, and it hit deep. She talked about parenting with Justin and called him an amazing dad. But she didn't stop there. She finally addressed the internet's obsession with watching her marriage crash and burn. I feel like I've fought so hard to get people to understand me, she said, to see me. But sometimes people just don't want to. And there's nothing I can do about that. You could feel the weight in those words. She's tried explaining her side, correcting the lies, setting the record straight, and every time, she's lying. That kind of gaslighting from the public feels like a trap. Hailey also gave Justin his flowers. She said she's learned so much from him, especially about handling the pressure. He's been doing this since he was a kid, she said. He's faced more scrutiny than anyone I know. And Justin's advice, baby, trust me, I've been here, there's no winning. Cold, but true. On the rumors surrounding their marriage, Hailey shut it all down. It's not real, she said plainly. My real life is waking up to my beautiful family, my son, my friends. I have people who truly know me and love me, and I love them right back. But she didn't sugarcoat it. Getting to that mindset took a lot of therapy. She admitted postpartum hit her hard, and dealing with the internet dragging her marriage while she was already emotionally fragile, that pain ran deep. Then came the elephant in the room, those wild headlines, claims that Justin's spiraling, that he's manic, a mess, even that they're moving to Europe for his mental health. Hailey didn't deny reading them. She just smiled a little, looked away, and said, "I read that one. There's a new headline every 2 days. None of it makes sense." As for the rumors about leaving LA, shut down. "There's no leaving LA for us," she said. "We love it here." And when she was asked about adjusting to motherhood, she didn't hold back. "Being postpartum is the most sensitive time I've ever gone through. Learning a new version of myself, it's been really, really hard." She's not just surviving, she's rebuilding in full view of millions. Now imagine going through all of that while logging on every day just to see strangers saying you're getting divorced, your marriage is fake, or you're both miserable. Hailey didn't sugarcoat it. "It's a total mind trip," she said. "I can't even begin to explain it. It's a crazy life to live." She got real about how invasive the world has become, especially with paparazzi swarming and people digging into their private moments. That's why she and Justin have kept baby Jack completely out of the spotlight. "We don't take him to a lot of places," she explained. "We just don't want anyone to. It's so invasive. It feels mean to throw a baby into all that noise." Then she opened up even deeper, revealing she battled intense postpartum body dysmorphia and waves of self-hate. Her body didn't snap back, and she struggled to accept that her physical and emotional self had completely changed. "I had to shift my perspective," she said. "This is a different version of me now." Social media made it even worse. Hailey admitted that sometimes she'd look for hate comments just to validate her lowest thoughts, and it would send her spiraling. That's how damaging the cycle had become. She described giving birth as the hardest thing she's ever done. Even though she prepared, nothing could have braced her for what happened. At 39 weeks, her water began leaking, and she had to be induced. They used Pitocin and a Foley balloon to kickstart labor. Her words? "That was so crazy. That was not fun." No epidural, just pain. She labored for 18 straight hours, and when Jack was finally born, things got scary. Hailey experienced postpartum hemorrhaging and said it hit her in that moment. People die from this. That thought alone chilled her. Through it all, Justin stayed by her side. He said time and time again that Hailey is his anchor. In Vogue, he wrote again, "I've done a lot of dumb things in my life, but the smartest thing I ever did was marry Hailey." And when Hailey was asked whether she thought the public's obsession with her and her marriage would ever cool off, she gave a half smile and said, "I thought after 7 years it would have by now, but it hasn't." You'd think having a baby would make people finally back off, maybe ease up a little, right? Nope. Hailey just shrugged and flashed a grin like, "So I guess these people are gonna stay mad." And now, welcome to the next chapter. Justin Bieber versus the media machine. It's bigger than money. It's about control. Let's get this straight. Whatever Justin's doing now, he's been doing it for years. The baggy clothes, the messy IG pics, the random videos, the smoking, that's not new. That is his brand. But the media's flipping the narrative like he suddenly switched up out of nowhere. Why? Timing. And some of that might just tie back to the Diddy situation. Justin's team released a statement to TMZ that said, although Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims, there are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him. Shifting focus away from this reality detracts from the justice these victims rightfully deserve. Heavy. But if you've been keeping up with the behind-the-scenes reports, Diddy's name hasn't really come up in connection to Justin's past trauma. Not from trusted sources anyway. There were other big names tied to that. You can check the linked post for the full breakdown. Now, here's where it gets shady. Ever since Justin's alleged fallout with his team and all the money rumors, yep, we exposed that in the Bieber smear campaign video, the media has been pushing this whole "what's wrong with Justin Bieber" storyline hard. So hard, in fact, that TMZ even dropped a full documentary on it. And let's be honest, it had the depth of a TikTok thread. Investigative journalism? Not even close. They drilled in on two things, money and Selena Gomez, over and over. Money, money, money. It's all about deals, finances, chaos. And when it comes to Selena, TMZ paints it like the drama is completely one-sided. Like Hailey's out here obsessed and making it all up in her head. They claim Hailey's perception of Selena is warped, that this feud is self-created, and that Selena's moved on while Hailey can't let it go. But if that's true, why is the media still obsessed too? Something's not adding up. Let's set the record straight. The facts are right there. No need to rehash Selena's past public involvement. I've broken that down time and time again. But what's really wild is how the media keeps trying to shape this narrative in one specific direction, when the only person visibly playing into it publicly is Selena herself. She's got a pattern, call it rage baiting, and it even slipped into the Rhode drama. Right after Rhode announced its massive $1 billion acquisition by ELF, Rare Beauty tweeted, "Still here," alongside two pics of Selena blowing a kiss. The shade was crystal clear. The message? Unlike Hailey, Selena still owns her brand. But here's the twist. That's not even true. The ELF deal is a huge win for Rhode. This kind of acquisition is normal. It means the brand succeeded. It's not a sellout move. It's business leveling up. Meanwhile, Rare Beauty, reports say they've been struggling to lock down buyers, and after catching heat online, Rare Beauty deleted that tweet real fast. What we're seeing now feels like mass gaslighting, straight from the playbook of black propaganda. It's headline after headline pushing a carefully built story. Repeat it enough times, and the lie starts to sound like truth. And right now, the media's favorite storyline is that Justin's lost it, like he's spiraling, broke, brainwashed, or even trapped in a cult. Just because he talks about God, redemption, suddenly it's the end of days. But let's keep it real. This is not new behavior. I've followed Justin for years. He's made bad choices, got involved in questionable churches. He's no saint, never claimed to be. But the way they're spinning it now, like he just turned spiritual overnight or joined a cult yesterday, that's not just misleading, it's sinister. The truth? Justin's clearly in a tough spot. He's adjusting to a new team, facing the blowback from his past, and probably still paying back the cost of pulling the plug on the Justice Tour. This isn't some sudden fall from grace. It's just the messy public reality of someone who's always been complicated but never fake. At the end of the day, it's just another Tuesday for Justin Bieber. This is who he's always been. He's always smoked. He's always hated touring. He's always had issues with paparazzi and those blurry, offbeat Instagram posts. That's been his vibe since day one. So no, this isn't some shocking meltdown or new era. It's the same Justin, just older and dealing with the same public circus, only now with a kid and even more noise. And yeah, the public's reaction can't even be mad at it. Especially after that Vogue caption, he keeps adding fuel whether he means to or not. But while everyone's locked in on his every move, nobody's asking why the media zooms in on his life with such obsession. Like, let's be real. Half the things they blow up about Justin and Hailey wouldn't even make it to a sidebar article if it was any other celeb couple. That's the real issue. It's not just about drama anymore. It's about how certain people get framed, while others get protected. The media picks a narrative and runs with it, every time. But hey, we're not done digging. You already know we're going to keep peeling this back. So if you've made it this far, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the celebrity mess you won't get anywhere else. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Biebers, Selena, and who's really pulling the strings. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.